I don't want to believe it. I can't believe it. I never thought I'd wake up and expect a phone call saying that my best friend died.
You never think you have a problem whenever you first get into it. It's you got it under control. It's never under your control. It's out of your control. You're not in control of anything.
That's what everyone thinks, kids and adults alike. It won't happen to me. I can control it. But no one ever plans to become addicted. No one ever plans to get arrested. No one ever plans to overdose and die. But it happens.
Look at somebody like me. I was doing good. I had pretty much everything you could want. Oh, I got nothing.
It's an all too common scenario. A person starts with marijuana just for the fun of it. Then it becomes something much more.
I started out 16, 17. Tried smoking weed for the first time. Drinking with the friends. We had our laughs and everything. And I mean, I admit it was some good times, but with those good times, there's always consequences. I wrecked one of my cars, which I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have done if I wasn't high. I got a DUI, which without the alcohol, I wouldn't have had. But that simple fun, in my eyes, led to trying LSD, popping the pills, Vicodins and perks and such. That led to heroin, and heroin led to a downfall. It was not fun. With the blizzard, I've done shots and woke up 2 hours later on the floor with the needle still sitting there, not cleaned out or anything. I tried it and it was instant addiction.
If you think you can do it, and just do it once in a while, and get away with it, not get in trouble trying to get money to get it, you're wrong. You're dead wrong.
Bath salts, also known as Blizzard, is a man-made chemical that affects the brain. Blizzard has quickly become a very serious health risk, causing more harm than almost any other drug. Its negative effects are many and start by causing extreme energy, rapid heartbeat, insomnia, chest pain, even heart attack and stroke.
I mean, you can feel your heart and your body shaking, and
you get a high blood pressure and your heart rate takes off. And typically you're pretty much covered in sweat and shaky. Sounds like a good time to me. Why would anyone do this?
I mean, there's so many times where I thought I was going to die. I felt my heart, and it would just beat and beat and beat and beat and beat, and I was praying to God to let it stop. Because I would puke and puke and puke, and there'd be nothing to puke because I'm not eating.
Your heart rate, blood pressure can go up. It can cause heart attacks and that sort of thing, even in young people, just like methamphetamines or cocaine could.
Blizzard's not like other drugs that we come in contact with where we have an antidote for it. When somebody overdoses on a narcotic such as heroin, we can quickly give them a medication that instantly reverses them. Blizzard, on the other hand, all we can do is treat the symptoms that you present with. There's no medication that we carry or that the hospital has that's going to overturn these terrible symptoms that you're having.
it's one of the worst drugs to come down off of. It's worse than heroin and any other drug.
I probably should be dead right now. So those kids that are out there doing that, why even think about it? Why?
There have been 4 or 5, I think it's 5 deaths in Blair County so far, maybe 6, there's one we're not sure, that have been attributed to the use of Blizzard. This is in the last 5 months. This is a relatively new thing.
Katie Bowers and Abby Brumbaugh were best friends for more than 6 years.
Abby was an all-around amazing person. She was genuine, and she loved animals. She loved helping people. She was such a great person. It's just a shame.
The 20-year-old Williamsburg native may have died from a fatal overdose of concentrated bath salts, also known as Blizzard or ivory snow.
I'll never get to hug her, hold her, tell her I love her, and hear it back. And I just can't believe that I'll never see her again.
And he told my son, "You're one of the lucky ones." He said, because most don't walk back out of here.
2 weeks ago, Cindy Brown's 21-year-old son nearly died from an overdose of Blizzard.
An addicted life. It's very controlling, you know, you have no choice. You know, a lot of people would think you're free, you know, as long as the police don't catch you, you're free. But it holds you, you know, you're in bondage.
I had a friend overdose and die on Blizzard about a month and a half ago. They said it was the first time she did it.
If the physical symptoms weren't enough, now add hallucinations, psychosis, and paranoia.
You hallucinate, you see things. Like I've gotten scared several times whenever I was around my mother because I've seen things and she told me that they wasn't there, but I thought I saw them. And I've heard voices inside my head.
I was hallucinating. I thought I had bugs on me. Paranoia was horrible. I isolated myself from everybody. Depression was horrible. I pushed everybody away, including family. I just felt like basically I was dying.
We run a psychiatric unit here, and that's where people who get into trouble with these kinds of drugs tends to land. Over the last 4 months, we've had dozens of patients on our psychiatric unit who have used Blizzard. The lot of them have all been psychotic and extremely paranoid and very disorganized and very ill.
Then the paranoia sets in, and I'm telling you, you look down at you look at your door and you see shadows. You'll think there's somebody under the door. I used to take steak knives and jam them in my door wedge because I thought there was somebody in my hallway, and it's a secure building. There's a locked door downstairs. How are they gonna get in? But you don't think about that. I would hang up blankets all around my room, all around the house, all over the place, on the windows, so that no one could see in.
These symptoms have been described as being similar to a manic episode seen in someone with bipolar disorder, but worse. The delusions that develop as a result of Blizzard use can quickly turn deadly.
Well, we've seen people that have attempted to stab themselves. We've seen people that have been in their houses and been so paranoid in thinking that people were trying to attack them from outside the house that they've destroyed their entire house. We've seen people that are taking the drug over and over and over again for 2-3 weeks and have extreme paranoia that lasts well beyond stopping the drug. People can be paranoid for weeks or months after they stop taking the drug due to long-term effects on their brain.
The potential for really dangerous behavior is there because, number one, these people aren't accustomed to being psychotic. Number two, they're not expecting the drug to make them psychotic. Number three, when you get like that, you believe it's real. It's reality to you. I mean, those first two, that first couple, they were absolutely convinced that this was real, and they were so relieved to see the police because they were being saved from a horrible fate, the nature of which they didn't even know. So it's reality. Now, people can act on that, and you can have terrible things happen.
We had a news story of a father who came home. His teenage son was high on Blizzard. He sat with the teenage son to the point where the 2 to 4 hours passed. Those common symptoms wore off. The son went to sleep. The father went to sleep. When the father woke up, the kid had woken up sometime during the night and had almost completely severed his own head with a large kitchen knife down to the spine. So at some point, the son woke up and was still suffering from those hallucinations, and that was the result of it.
I barricaded us in a bedroom, put the dresser in front of the door, and looked underneath the crack of the door for an hour and a half with her screaming at me to stop it.
The police had been called by this couple that had closed themselves off in a bedroom and called the police because they believed that their home was being invaded and that they were in imminent danger. Something terrible was about to happen, and they were very, very frightened.
I actually called officers because I thought someone was trying to break into downstairs. They came, parked down the street. I didn't know this, and they seen me chasing nobody up the street with a baseball bat. So I guess I seen somebody, I guess something.
Even after they had stopped using, it took several days on our unit for them to come back to realizing what had happened to them and not being psychotic anymore.
We had an incident in Huntington about a month ago where 3 individuals were using Blizzard. Another individual called him and told him he was coming over. At some point they envisioned that he was coming to injure them. They all armed themselves, and when the 4th friend came over and knocked on the door, they began shooting. One had a high-powered assault rifle, shot one of the 3, shot one of the other 2 in the room. They all ended up living, but that's sort of an example of the paranoia and how dangerous people will get when they're that paranoid on this type of substance. And back to what I said before, what makes it most dangerous is it could be a week later when that paranoia is still happening.
On Mother's Day, I got my mom OIP for dinner, and then I went and got strawberry pie. I was starting to hallucinate again and thinking that I had bugs on me. I thought they were dropping in the food. Like, I couldn't eat. I threw the food on the floor. It was a bad experience. In the back of my head, I thought, oh, it's just a blizzard, you know? And then I second-guessed myself and thought, well, maybe I'm going crazy. And here my mom sits on Mother's Day watching this. And my heart was sinking, but what I did was I left and went and got more blizzard.
And I'd hear the neighbors' dogs barking in the alley, and I'd think that a cop was coming down. I'd hurry up and go hide. Like, why? A neighbor's dog barks all the time. That's what a dog does, it barks. And I'd think, oh, somebody's coming.
These are real things that happen to real people. And dozens of them, not just a couple. Dozens. We've been doing a land office business with this. I'd rather not, but there it is.
These psychotic episodes, along with the highly addictive nature of this drug, frequently lead to criminal behavior. It's been long established that there's a direct correlation between drug use and crime. Our area has seen a significant increase in criminal activity because of Blizzard.
All of the major crimes that I've been assigned to investigate were directly related to Blizzard usage.
Right now, I got a burglary case because I broke into a pawn shop for jewelry to get, you know, the Blizzard.
The types of crimes that we have been seeing range from anywhere from property crimes, which would be damage to somebody's property, to more personal crimes like robberies, where people are being robbed for very small amounts of cash that the people who were using these substances would then take and purchase, you know, bath salts or K2 with.
Police arrested 27-year-old Joshua Lee Benz, his girlfriend, 31-year-old Jennifer Marie Gulak, and 35-year-old Patricia Grace Rhodes in connection with the armed robberies of Mama Randazzo's restaurant, a taxi cab driver, and a pizza delivery man. Police say right after robbing their victims at knife point, all 3 then took the cash to buy Blizzard and shoot up.
You're seeing people who may not otherwise be involved in criminal activity start to involve themselves in actions which get them in trouble with the law. What we have seen with this is that it is so quickly addicting that there has been an increase in the crime that has occurred, and it becomes scary to the point that these people will do anything to get the fix that they think they need.
I attribute the problems and the crimes associated with Blizzard because of the addictive nature of the Blizzard.
From what I've heard being out to jail, 20 out of the last 30 people that came in were on Blizzard.
Being a police officer for 16 years here in Pennsylvania, I have not witnessed any other drug have the effects that Blizzard has had.
Well, it became problems because people, kids in particular, thought that because it was legal, it wasn't harmful. This summer, early summer, the Pennsylvania Commonwealth had passed a law that made all these Blizzard drugs illegal. Now, if you sell the drug, it's a felony, you're going to go to jail. If you possess the drug, it's a misdemeanor, you're going to go to jail. So it's now a legal controlled substance.
The user is not the only victim of Blizzard and other drug abuse. Parents of addicts, brothers and sisters, and other family members are all impacted by the destruction of drug addiction.
We always call addiction a family disease because the people who love you are watching you slip away. They're watching the person that they saw with so much potential slowly deteriorate right in front of them and be destroyed by substances.
I lost two kids out of the custody. I have 3 kids total. I lost 2 full custody. I mean, they get scared a lot. They think I'm going to go to jail all the time. And I don't know what to tell them, because every time they see me go to, you know, parole, they ask if I'm going to jail and stuff like that. Like the one, she's worried all the time when I go to jail. All the time. Now, if I go to the courthouse or if I go, you know, for a meeting or anything, she automatically thinks I'm going to jail and I ain't coming back. I mean, she's seen me arrested twice. And that's what makes it worse on her, because, I mean, I've had, you know, federal, you know, marshals come down, or U.S. marshals come down and arrest me right in front of her. And, I mean, I didn't want her to see it, but, I mean, she saw it anyway because of my mistakes.
We stopped paying the bills, the electric got shut off. When the cops came in to get me for the burglary, since there was no electricity and the house was a mess, they gave us child endangerment charges, and she's pregnant. And I'm gonna, you know, where am I gonna be to help her take care of these kids?
It's more than just getting high. It's a way of life, it's surviving, because every day when you wake up, you're not worried about going to work, you're not worried about going to school, you're not worried about getting the dishes done, cooking dinner. You're worried about how you're gonna get money and how you're gonna find the drug dealer to buy the drugs. That's what your life is every day.
It makes me feel like a bad mother.
And they found Blizzard packets, or, you know, they were empty, but bent spoons.
We have young parents that we are prosecuting right now for endangering their children because their children, toddler size, were living in complete filth for days on end because the parents' only objective was to get something to put in their system to give them a high. The pictures of what those babies were living in, you know, milk with fleas in it, and dishes piled high in the bathtub, and no running water, the sleeping conditions where there is, you know, pet urine and pet feces all over the floor where these children are crawling around.
And once you start doing it, it's not like other drugs where you can just say, okay, you know, I'm going to stop now and go do something. I'm going to go change the baby's diaper. No, it's something where you don't care about anything but that.
Those are the types of things that, you know, break your heart, because the kids don't choose to be in those situations and they don't know any better at the time. But certainly the young adults who are parenting these kids know better, and they're choosing themselves over their own children. Very sad.
My kids, I got a 3-year-old, 5-year-old, I got a 7-month-old baby who she don't even like anybody but me. Because before this blizzard, she was my everything.
With younger people, a lot of times what kids believe is that this can't happen to me. I can control this, and I'm not going to get addicted.
It's a very reinforcing drug. You use it once, you want to use it more. And people will take a dose and take a dose and take a dose and take a dose and do that until they're out of drug or they're out of money or both, or end up with us because they become psychotic, or end up dead, because that happens to people too.
You don't know when you're going to die. You don't. And as far as with everything that's going on around the area, I mean, blizzard seems to be the #1 problem. It does. It tops everything. I mean, it's really bad. It's nothing to mess with.
And that's probably the most concerning thing, is that despite the really negative effects that it can have on people, your body seems to really crave it very strongly, and so it's very, very difficult to stop taking it. In addition, it can cause a lot of serious, prolonged psychiatric effects as well that'll last for sometimes months after you stop using it.
You're paranoid the whole time you're on it until you come down off, even whenever you're going through the withdrawal. That's what I'm saying. It's this psychotic state it puts you in, you don't recover from it, because, I mean, I'm still paranoid to this day, all the time. It's done something to me that I won't come back to be the same.
It's like you have OCD, you start doing something. And a big thing is picking your face. You pick your face. I still got some you might be able to notice, from little pick marks on my nose. there's nothing there, but you think there's a pimple, so you just keep squeezing it and squeezing it and squeezing it.
The best way to avoid drug-related problems is to never start in the first place. But it isn't always easy. You need to be prepared. Making the right choice at the right time can make all the difference.
Everybody's not doing this. Everybody's not engaging in substance use, and everybody's definitely not doing Blizzard. And we need to make sure they understand that it's not something they have to do. They can walk away from that.
I know peer pressure plays a lot and everything, but if somebody tells them to do something, they shouldn't do it.
When you're young, you do have a perception that it will never happen to you. You won't get caught, or you're not going to get addicted. And time again, I've prosecuted cases, I've been involved with investigations where people thought that they were above being addicted, or that they were above getting caught by the police.
If I was looking at a group of kids right now, I would show them a before picture and an after picture. 45 days, if that, a month and a half. I lost 41 pounds.
The past 12 years of my life haven't been fun because of any drug or alcohol. It's been a struggle. I could be in culinary art, I could be a chef somewhere because that's what I wanted to do. I could have graduated with my class. I could have done a lot, but I didn't because of the drugs. What initially took me to doing Blizzard for the first time was I just got out of a relationship and it hurt and I didn't want to deal with it. If I could go back, I would have spoke to somebody because I isolated right away. I put on the sad movies, I put on the songs, and I went in my room and isolated, just like high school.
Probably the #1 risk factor for kids is if they're with a group of kids that also are using. And especially if that child has some feelings of insecurity, of not being able to fit in, and they may want to try fitting in with this group. And if they're engaged in using alcohol or pot or even in other illegal drugs, they may be willing to step over that line and do that. Walk away as best as you can. You should have a plan with your family, you know, to be able to call, or you have a partner, your friend, you and your partner make that decision before you go into that situation that if this is going on, we're out of there. You know, let's just leave, we'll go find something else to do.
I used to be a follower and all the time through school. I always did what everybody did. I wasn't a leader, I was a follower. If they just jump right into it, you could be dead just from using it one time. And it don't need to be a large amount. It could be a small amount and it could kill you right off the bat. I've dealt with enough. I mean, I don't want to deal with it anymore, and that's why I'm trying to move on and, you know, change my life, because I want to better myself. And you have to want to help yourself before you can do anything about it.
You're lucky if you don't end up in jail or you don't end up dead. I didn't end up dead, but I've been in and out of jail ever since. I know from experience how good it feels just to let things off your chest. Somebody else loves you, you know? My relationship might have failed, but somebody else loves me. That's my family, my friends. If I could go back, I would have opened up to somebody and not turned to Blizzard.
This is rock bottom as it gets. Just don't try it. Not even once, because if you do, you'll try it again and again and again. And if you don't wind up dead, you'll be sitting like me. It ain't worth it. Nothing's worth this. It tears your family, your loved ones, tears everything apart. But mainly yourself.